Rolling with the triple C, I'ma make him bend the knee. Rolling with the triple C, don't really count the heat.
But just know, there's video, and he knows what name not to say to let it come out of what happened to him. I'm not gonna release it, but just know there is someone in that gym that has slept him out.
Yeah, so it looks like Ian Garry got knocked the hell out this week. What else you got for me, Joe? Let me see it, guys. There's a lot. It seems to me like Ian Garry just happens to. I mean, I got 3 phones coming at me at the same damn time.
Dylan Dennis post.
Dylan Dennis post. Okay, Layla Machado. Okay, where you from? England, but half Brazilian. How are you today? Very cool, doing great. Where do you live?
This right here is the.
Because we already knew that he's married to this woman right here who's 40 years old and 16 years older than him, took his wife's last name by birth and made it his own middle name, and they live with his wife's ex-husband, who is now Ian Garry's nutrition coach, who, by the way, put Ian Garry on a vegan diet while he himself is not a vegan. No, that isn't even all of it, because this man right here exposed the final nail in the coffin. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but...
This sounds terrible. Ian Garry Machado, I'm sorry I have to do this to you, man, but what the fuck is going on, dude? Woo! Looks like Dylan Dennis went in on him. It looks like a Sean Strickland went on him. Now, guess what, guys? Now it's a triple C. But you know what? The personal stuff, that's none of my business, but it is my business when it becomes my business. You know what I'm saying? Ian Garry. We just heard like this week, I don't know if it's this week or the last week, and more likely it was probably this last week. Where is it that his mind is really at with this whole thing, with obviously his wife being an author of a book called WAG, which is the acronyms for wife and girlfriend. How is it that you pick up a guy who is young and successful, and how is it that you can pretty much, make him yours? I mean, whatever it is that Ian Garry decides to do is what he decides to do. But once it starts getting out to the overall media, you know what I mean? And guys like myself and guys that are just instigators to that point, that's where you got to be careful. And I think when there's too much promotion on what is it that her wife or his girlfriend or wife, I don't even know what the hell it is, wife or girlfriend, it is that's trying to accomplish, she's actually done a good job. You know why, guys? Because we've been talking about them. I mean, when is it that I've talked about Ian Garry knocking somebody out or putting somebody away? He's been beating people. He's recently been finishing people, but because of this whole situation with his wife or girlfriend, I don't know what it is, with his WAG, I don't know where is it that his head is actually at, because I guess apparently he recently got knocked out maybe about a few days ago. I mean, getting knocked out cold, guys, is absolutely ridiculous, because you know what that does? That you're just scraping that timeline that you have as a fighter off of your damn career. I mean, if Ian Garry's not right in his head, or this could also be on the flip side, if this is actually motivating him or helping him create more of his brand, because I get it. If you notice guys like myself, if you notice guys like Kobe Covington, when you start getting a lot of this hate from a lot of people, you start to kind of start to like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is why, and it's not so much me getting attention from other people. It's more of me actually telling the truth. I go back and I talk about that Espinal fight. Like, yeah, an intra bout is just the number one contender, but it's not a world title. I talk about a lot of things that people are not willing to talk about because I am a high-level competitor and people just don't get that. A guy like Daniel Cormier, he don't get it. You know why? Because he doesn't have an Olympic gold medal. He's never reached those high mountains where he knows what it feels like and what it should feel like and what those tears really mean. But enough about that. Just giving you guys my 2 cents. I mean, is this something that Ian Garry and his wife are actually plotting? Because if it is, you know what? That WAG is getting a lot of attention. That book could become a bestseller because she was able to get a younger, up-and-coming, undefeated Irishman. And she was able to make him a Machado. She was able to give her Portuguese last name, her Brazilian last name, Machado. I mean, you talk about power. I mean, you talk about a woman with a plan. I mean, is it hate that I want to hate on his WAG, on his girl, wife or girlfriend, or or kudos to her, or does she have us fooled? I mean, we go back and we think of the whole Britney Spears. I forget what the guy's name was. I don't know if my producer can you look that up? Britney Spears, and I want you guys to and look up Love Guru. Because there is that one point, there is this guy who was pretty much a pickup artist, and he was the best at it, and people knew about it, but yet he was still able to get all these different celebrities. The problem is with a guy like Ian Garry is, you're in the fight game, man. You're literally in the fight game, Ian. And if you're not careful, if you're not thick-skinned, if you're not titanium, you're gonna eventually, your career could go down because psychologically your mind's not there. And that's what worries me about an up-and-coming guy. Because do I believe Ian Garry, I've always said it a long time ago, he is kind of like the king of cringe. Like I've always said, he is the real king of cringe because he wants to be a superstar. He wants to reach the stars. He wants to be the reincarnation of Conor McGregor. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Conor McGregor was to talk to a guy like Ian Garry and tell him, hey, you should change your name from Machado to Conor McGregor as a fool. He'd probably do it because he's so driven in that sense. And especially when coming from a guy that he idolizes in a guy like Conor McGregor. But that being said, the lawsuit with Sean Strickland that they're trying to do, like this is all their marketing plot. Like, do we really even want? I'm even skeptical of bringing this conversation into light because who knows that they may come after me too. I mean, I'm not saying anything. The only thing that I'm saying is things are coming about. But his wife is doing a hell of a good job of putting her name in the media. And who knows, guys, her book could potentially come the next New York Times bestseller. What you got for me, Joe?
With Ian Garry being scheduled to fight Vicente Luque December 16th, how do you think he should approach the media, especially with someone like Colby Covington in that press conference?
Ooh, and we heard it already. Is like Chael Sonnen has been telling Ian Garry, you better have a lot of armor. You better have a knife, a brick, a tank, everything under the sun because Colby Covington, because of the King of Miami, Mr. Chaos, he's got something for you. So I feel like if Ian Garry is going to go to these press conferences, he's just going to have to turn into the bad guy. He's going to have to turn into, hey, but guess what, guys? But guess what? I shoot balls of lightning from my eyes and thunder from my arse. And he just needs to accept it. Come out in all black. Ask the UFC you can have your wife next to you as you go through this press conference. Because guess what, guys? Mr. President Donald Trump said it best. Any publicity is good publicity by the simple fact that we're actually talking about them. So it's crazy that I'm spending a subject talking about something so, I don't know, I'm so, I don't even want to say cringe, so different. I'm thinking of the word. Can you guys help me out here? I'm thinking of a damn word. So I guess so unique in that sense. We'll use that word because nothing's coming to mind. I feel like there's a more of a sophisticated word. But either way, the question that I have is, after all this 26-year-old kid, is he gonna have the balls? Is he gonna have the thick-skinned? Is he gonna be thick-skinned enough to be able to fight a guy against a guy like Vicente Luque and actually win? Because if he doesn't, and if he does get hurt like he did in that sparring session a few days ago, there goes that 26-year-old kid who had those lofty dreams of becoming the reincarnation of Conor McGregor. And now all that, because of love, goes down the drain.